A friend asked me to fix up his chair. Kind of had a few issues with it. It's kind of coming apart down here on the legs. There's two stretchers there and one right here that's come loose. Fortunately, the other end on all three of them are tight, and all the other are tight, and the chair is really pretty solid as it is. So it's not going to take much to do this. And I thought I'd fix up the finish down here on the bottom of the legs. Looks like maybe it's been wet or something. Clean the thing up, put some polish on it, make it like new. So let's get started. Well, the first thing I want to do is put a cloth down so we don't damage the chair any more than it already is. Don't want to scratch that up, that sort of thing. Now what I want to do first is to test to see how tight these are. Looks like someone's put a little nail in them, so I'm going to have to take that out. In fact, they're all nailed. They got a little pin in there. Don't know why they do that, but they did. So I'll be taking that out. It's got, well, the nails out of these, the little tack, is there's none in that. And it looks like they're going to fit pretty tight. Yep. I think the problem is this leg is loose. There's a screw holding it. So I think the first thing I'm going to do is take this leg out. Now the other legs are really solid, but this leg here is loose. So if I don't tighten this leg up, why, the same thing is going to happen again. So I'm going to take that leg off. A funny angle there. Hard to get that out. I'd like to raise that up just a little bit, that leg, so I can get some glue down in there. Yeah, if we look closely down on the leg here, you'll see that the part of the leg split. And I don't know if you can see down in the hole or not, but right there in the hole is a split off part. So considerable force was caused this leg to split out there. I've got some real thin veneer, and what I think I'll do is glue a little piece of veneer and then glue all the way around. I'll clean the leg off, scrape the old glue off of there. Not a whole lot of glue on it, to be honest, and put a little piece of veneer on there to fatten it up a little bit, and then glue her down. So, all right, I'm just going to use a razor blade to scrape it. It'd be kind of hard to get a scraper down in here. I want to get this as clean as possible. There just wasn't much glue on it, to be honest. Without totally taking the chair apart, I can't get in the hole. But no more glue than is on this thing. Why, I don't think that's necessary anyway. Alright, that looks pretty clean. Okay, I've got a real thin piece of veneer here, And I think what I'm going to do is put it over here on the split side. So I'll trim that down to fit. Then I'll super glue this on. And then I think I'll use yellow glue for the rest of it. And then put the screw back in. Put a little glue on this. Square a little accelerator on there. Alright, I had a super glue accident there. The darn thing leaks like a sieve. You know, I've always used the little cheap tubes that you buy at the dollar store. You get 3 for $1 or something like that. And I've never had a problem. Been using them for years. But right there, you can see my 2 fingers got glued together. And I had to pull them apart and it ripped the skin right off. I don't know if you can tell it or not, but it's there. And so, anyway, I bought one of these kits. And I had nothing but trouble. No matter what I do, this stuff leaks. It's leaked since day one. Now, if I'm not using it right, I'd appreciate someone leaving a comment as to how to use this so it doesn't leak. But it leaks terrible. And the only way you can get it off of your skin, and then it's not very good, is with acetone. And this time it leaked so bad, it glued all my fingers together. Fortunately, we had a bottle of acetone, and I could get it loose all but that one little spot. And I had to rip it off to get it loose. But, you know, super glue works great, guys. But I want to tell you, if you get it on you, it's bad. And I don't know, I have a tough time working with gloves. Maybe I'll learn how. But I'm not sure unless someone tells me how to use this stuff and use it right or differently to where I don't get it all over me and it leaks. I'm not going to buy that stuff again. I'll go back to the little tubes, 3 for $1. Alright, let's get back to the chair. By the way, this is accelerator for super glue. It works really nice. You don't have to stand there and hold it for 15 minutes while it dries. Spray this on it dries almost instantly. Just get some yellow glue on this. I don't know if I can get any in the hole or not. Probably not. Let's see if I can get a little stick to move that around. I think that's pretty good. Then we'll drive that down in the hole. Well, that's a lot tighter. Yeah, get a wet rag down and wipe it off. I'm going to clamp it up. think that's going to be good and tight. And put the screw back in it. Well, I think the stretchers are going to be tight enough. All I need to do is get glue in the hole. I'll scrape them just a little bit. Boy, the hole is that deep, and all that was in there was that much. Boy, that's not very much. Scrape these a little bit. Just not much glue on there at all. I don't know how they thought it would stay together. Can't see any glue residue at all in the holes. And the little pins they put on these, I don't think did anything at all. I have to clamp that to draw those up. Okay. Get the excess glue off of there. Let that set up overnight. I want to glue the other one first though. Well, I can't see any glue at all on that. That's amazing. Well, let's get some glue in the hole. Get some glue on the stretcher. Get a clamp on it. Let me wipe it off a little bit first while I still can. You got about 15 minutes working time on yellow glue, so there's no use getting in a hurry. Alright, it slipped right in there. I think you probably saw it, you can see it move. Well, I'm going to let this set up overnight so it's good and solid, and then tomorrow or the next day or whenever I get back down here to it, I'm going to clean it up and see if I can't do something to the bottom of these legs where they look decent. Alright, catch you in the morning. As you can see, the finish is gone on the legs. Like all of this is gone. It's just not there anymore. Some of the legs are worse than others. This one here is not too bad, but still it's down around the legs. You can see right there, it's gone. This leg is particularly bad. So here's my plan. I'm going to use golden oak stain. And I'm going to shellac over the top of it. And I'm going to put a little clear gloss on it. And then, since this is more of a semi-gloss, I'm going to take my feeding wax here, orange beeswax polish. I'm going to put that on with steel wool. That'll take some of the gloss off. And then I'm going to go over the chair in all these places. I'm going to use a toothbrush and the wax to clean it up. It's not too bad, really, but you know, usually there's a lot of crud on old furniture like this, older furniture, from putting Johnson's spray wax on there, and before it can dry, it gets dust in it, and it keeps building up, building up, building up. Looks good when you first put it on, but after a while it looks kind of grungy. But this is not too bad. There's some spots there that need to be touched up a little bit. But the rest of the chair, the seat and the back, are actually in pretty good shape. So I'll just be kind of cleaning them up, and I'll brush all this and wax it. That's all I need to do. You can see, like down in this crack here, that's just dust, and that's just collected because of putting Johnson's spray wax or somebody's spray wax on there. Okay, so well, I'm going to get to work and get to doing this. Just take an old rag, dip it in the can, and just wipe it on. Nothing magical about this. Okay, after you get it wiped on, sets a little bit, then you want to take a dry rag and wipe off all the excess. Well, that looks pretty good. And I know what you're thinking, well, why not just quit there? Well, when this dries, there'll be no gloss at all to it. And it's not protected, so it will eventually wear off. That's why you got to put a finish on it. If it'd stay like this and not come off, boy, that'd be great. Let that dry for an hour, and we'll come back and I'll spray some shellac on these leg bottoms. The reason you use shellac because the compatibility. I don't know what kind of finish this is on there. I just imagine from the looks of it, the way it's coming off, it's lacquer. But I don't want to take a chance. If it's something that's not compatible with the lacquer that I'm going to use, why then it would bubble and be a mess. So if I spray this on first, why I don't have to worry about what I put on top of this. I could put poly on top of it. I could put lacquer, whatever I wanted. Okay, all you do here is just put a little of this feeding wax. And you just take your toothbrush and go like that. You only need to use the toothbrush in the cracks. Then you let it dry for about 20 minutes, and you just wipe it off. And it leaves a nice, soft, protective shine. You can see down in there, it just cleans all the dust out of that crack. Makes it look real nice. So I'm going to do the whole thing you know, all the spindles like this, they got dust in them. You can see it if you're up close. You probably can't see it on camera. I just go like that, and I would say this wood has not had many wax applications because it's really dry. It's really soaking it up. That's what you do, and when you get all done, it's all set and ready to go. Okay, well the stain is dry. So now I'm just going to spray a little shellac on there. Start working back on the back of the chair with the wax. We'll let this dry for an hour or so. Then I'll spray some lacquer just on the upper part of our lower part of the legs here, the part that's sticking up in the air. And then we'll steel wool that down to a nice finish. And we'll be all done with this chair. Oh yeah, it's real solid now. Yeah, all this detail work needs to have the toothbrush in it. That won't take long. A little something right here, I need to rub it with a little steel wool. There, it came right off. There's a dark spot in the seat. Looks like a burn. I'm not going to mess with that. Yeah, this is real easy to do. You just want to make sure you're getting all the cracks and crevices, like around each one of these spindles. Well, the lacquer is dried overnight, and I did this just a little bit right here, and you can tell it's not quite as shiny as it is down here. I hope you can see that on the video, but I want to bring it down to the same gloss that it was before I did it, so that it matches the rest of the chair. And how you do that is you just take a piece of steel wool and you put a little of your feeding wax or whatever you got, and you just rub it, and you start rubbing it you don't want to rub hard, you just want to rub it till the shiny gloss is gone. You rub hard, you might rub through the finish, and you don't want to do that. And after you've done a place or two, you got to get the feel for how hard you got to rub, and then it's not hard at all. You let that feeding wax stay on there for about 20 minutes, and then you just wipe it off. And that's all you do, and that'll soften the shine, get it down to, well, whatever you want. Whether you want it flat or do you want it semi-gloss. In this case, I definitely don't want it glossy, or I'd left it alone. So I'm going to do the other 3 legs, and then we got one more little thing we got to do, and I'll show you that when I get the legs done. The last thing I want to do to the chair, you'll notice across the top here, there's some nicks, places where the finish is gone. And I'm going to take what they call furniture repair markers. This one happened to be walnut, which matches. I checked the color on the bottom side there, and this matches pretty good. And I want to go through there and see if I can color these little spots a little bit. You just take it and you scratch it on like that, and you just kind of wipe it off. Yeah, that's pretty good. About all I can do. Well, let's take it and see what it looks like.